So hi, isn't that a lovely scene? That's an official chemtrail. The topic of my social commentary today is about the framers of the Constitution. You know, we've reached that time that we're being enslaved slowly and surely with a new mindset. And we haven't really realized it because of the fact we've been so preoccupied with our everyday lives that we don't take the time to know that we've been brainwashed. They've been doing this since the end of World War II. You know, when they gathered all the documents from all the different nations that they conquered, they found out that they were doing psychological testings on people. They were learning how to do herd crowd control. They were, of course, testing on the human body, specifically with drugs and viruses and bacteria to decimate people also. Since that time, we've been led down this primrose path of ignorance. And it's unfortunate because of this ignorance, we're reaching a crossroads in our history of this American country. You know, when the framers created the United States Constitution, they created a whole new concept in its day, because up until that time, all nations essentially were under the domain of a king or a queen. And so the people were ruled, and they had that being ruled by monarchy mentality. Today it's different. We're a federal republic with the United States Constitution as the guarantee of how people should be treated and the limitations of government. But over the course of history, since the framers of our Constitution, our founding fathers, have made the Constitution for us as a document to guarantee us life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, we've had executive orders, policies, guidelines, laws, statutes, codes that have been created to curtail our freedom, because in a free nation, people have exchange of ideas, thoughts, and beliefs, and they're also independent. And we're not being allowed to be independent today. What we're being is made dependent upon the state for our needs and our education and our survival, which puts us in a very precarious position, because it was made clear by Benjamin Franklin, neither a borrower or a lender be, and the reason behind that, because once you borrow money from somebody, you're beholden to that person for the return of that money. And usually they charge interest, which, by the way, is another concept that was brought by, you know, the Old Testament mentality, because the Semite people were very good at charging interest to Gentiles when they loaned money. To their own people, the Semites, they didn't charge interest. You paid the principal, you paid it back. After 7 years of indentured servitude, you ended up owning what you had agreed to. And they even had years of jubilee where you were just given straight back what was yours. Now, that may sound like it's a little side tangent. My real point being is that we live in a different time today where everything that's been done to us is all about our demise and control of us to enslave us. And the best way they found how to do that is by the creation of money. Because the money is not only the root of all evil, it is the very epitome of evil. And it's also being run by this philosophy that shows you the symbology on the money is all about hiding in plain sight what the real agenda is. Now, at one time, most all founding fathers were Freemasons. They were very well-educated men. And what they had was a higher concept of how man should be able to live their life without tyranny and without unrepresentation within those parliaments and halls of government that England had instituted at that time. Now, what's happened over the years since that has happened is the fact that we have a new government that's in office. They don't represent the people. Do you know, as an example, that since 1850, we haven't even increased the Congress? You know, the Congress is the house that represents the common man. The Senate was always the house that represents those who have wealth and power. And what's happened is those who have wealth and power are buying more positions within the government so that they're getting their agenda pushed over what the people who are the masses in this country are able to get representation within the Congress, the House of Representatives. So once again, they found a way to eliminate a whole segment of society. And we don't even realize this, since we're sitting here in our daily lives with distractions. I want to say another thing, too, about the fact that entertainment, you know, comes out of Hollywood. You know, Hollywood is an ancient tree. from the holly, which was a hardwood, but it was used by druids to make wands, and the wands were used to make potions and sorcery so that they could create spells and magical